A mistake by the Benfica defence, and Raphinha has ruthlessly punished them.
They told him to pack his bags. They said he was a €60 million mistake. The pundits in Catalonia were ruthless. They said he lacked the Barcelona DNA, that his touch was too heavy, that he was too chaotic for the sacred system of the Camp Nou. For 2 years, he was the sacrificial lamb of the Catalan media. Every time Barcelona needed to balance their financial spreadsheets, his name was the first one thrown onto the transfer list. They wanted to sell him to Saudi Arabia. They wanted to replace him with Nico Williams. They treated him like a placeholder until a real superstar arrived. But look at him today, in February 2026. The man they tried to force out the back door is now the one holding the keys to the entire stadium. He didn't just survive the pressure, he absorbed it, weaponized it, and conquered the club. He isn't just a starter anymore, he is the captain. He is the tactical trigger of the most dangerous pressing machine in European football. He is putting up offensive numbers that rival the primes of Neymar and Ronaldinho, all while defending like a prime N'Golo Kante. If you are still evaluating him based on his first 2 seasons, you are making a fatal miscalculation. Today, on 11 guards, we are conducting a forensic autopsy of the Raphinha resurrection. We will break down the tactical prison he escaped, the Hansi Flick masterstroke that unlocked him, and why he has become the undisputed engine of the era. To understand the 2026 version of Raphinha, we have to understand the tactical prison he was trapped in during his first 2 seasons. Under Xavi Hernandez, Barcelona played a rigid positional game that demanded extreme width. Xavi's philosophy required his wingers to have chalk on their boots, staying glued to the touchline to stretch the opposition defence. For a player like Ousmane Dembélé or Lamine Yamal, players who thrive in 1-versus-1 isolation and pure dribbling, this system is a dream. For Raphinha, it was a straitjacket. Raphinha is not a pure touchline dribbler. When you isolate him against a low-block fullback with no overlapping support, you neutralise his best traits, his ball striking, his movement, and his combination play. He was constantly receiving the ball standing still, forced to beat 2 men from a standing start. He looked predictable. He looked slow. The situation reached a critical mass in the 2023-24 season, with the explosion of Lamine Yamal. Suddenly Raphinha wasn't just struggling tactically. He had lost his preferred position on the right wing to a 16-year-old academy kid. He was pushed to the left wing, a position he had rarely played, and told to figure it out. He was playing on his weaker side, in a system that didn't suit him, with the media constantly questioning his price tag. Most Brazilian wingers with his pedigree would have demanded a transfer. They would have taken the massive payday in the Premier League or the Middle East. But Raphinha has a different psychological profile. He didn't complain. He didn't drop his head. He waited for the tactical geometry to change. And in the summer of 2024, a German architect arrived in Catalonia. When Hansi Flick took over, he completely tore up the Xavi blueprint. Flick doesn't want sterile possession. He wants verticality, chaos, and overwhelming physical intensity. And he immediately realised that Raphinha wasn't a problem to be solved. He was the solution to the entire system. Flick moved Raphinha permanently to the left side, but he fundamentally changed his role. He told him to step off the touchline. Under Flick, Raphinha became an interior winger or a fluid number 10. By moving him into the left half space, Flick unlocked the Brazilian's true superpower, his spatial awareness. With Alejandro Balde providing the width on the outside, Raphinha was suddenly operating in the most dangerous zones of the pitch, facing the goal rather than facing the corner flag. But his offensive positioning was only half of the masterstroke. Flick recognised something else. Raphinha has the lungs of a marathon runner and the aggression of a street fighter. Flick made Raphinha the pressing trigger. In this system, when Barcelona loses the ball, they do not retreat. They execute a suffocating gegenpress. And the man who initiates that press, 100% of the time, is Raphinha. Flick explicitly stated, Raphinha always starts the pressure. The dynamism he brings is invaluable. He is the heartbeat of the high line. He covers the entire pitch for 90 minutes with a psychotic level of intensity. He forces centre-backs into panic passes. He disrupts the opponent's build-up before it even begins. He is playing the role of a prime Thomas Müller, but with South American flair. When you combine a perfect tactical role with elite physical conditioning, you get a statistical anomaly. Let's look at the cold, hard forensics of his evolution. In his breakthrough 2024 and 25 season under Flick, Raphinha played 57 matches. He scored 34 goals and provided 25 assists, nearly 60 goal contributions in a single season. Those are numbers reserved for Ballon d'Or winners. He wasn't just participating in the attack, he was carrying it. Let's look at the cold, hard forensics of this evolution, because the statistical delta between his Xavi era and his Flick era is staggering. 2022 to 23 season, 10 goals, 12 assists. Efficient, but functionally limited. 2024 to 25 season, the Flick explosion. 34 goals, 25 assists in 57 appearances. Current 2025 to 26 season, as of February 2026. He is already sitting on 18 goals and 15 assists across all competitions midway through the campaign. But the underlying metrics tell the real story. Under Xavi, he averaged 3.8 shot-creating actions per 90 minutes. Under Flick, that number has skyrocketed to 6.2 SCA per 90, putting him in the 99th percentile of forwards in Europe. He led Europe in chances created. He led La Liga in key passes from the left side. But the most terrifying statistic wasn't his goals. It was when he scored them. And look at his finishing. In the past, pundits criticised him for taking too many low-percentage shots. Today, his shot selection is clinical. He is outperforming his expected goals by nearly 35%. He isn't just taking shots, he is taking better shots, arriving late into the box from that left half space, completely untracked by defenders. There is a concept in football known as the flat-track bully, a player who scores hat-tricks against relegation teams but vanishes in the Champions League. Raphinha became the exact opposite. He became the apex predator. When the lights were the brightest, he was the most violent. He scored a hat-trick against Bayern Munich, dismantling the German giants almost single-handedly. He went into the Santiago Bernabeu and tortured Real Madrid, logging multiple goal contributions in El Clasico. He became the player that Flick trusted more than anyone else when the season was on the line. But there is a dark side to playing with this psychotic level of intensity. A human body can only withstand so much torque before it breaks. Because Raphinha is the engine of Flick's high-pressing system, he is running himself into the ground. In the current 2025/26 season, he has missed roughly 42% of Barcelona's matches due to a torn biceps femoris and recurrent adductor overloads. And if you want to know exactly how important Raphinha is to Barcelona, you don't look at the games he plays, you look at the games he misses. The statistics are genuinely terrifying for Barcelona fans. With Raphinha in the starting 11 this season, Barcelona has 17 wins and 1 draw. They are virtually invincible. Without him starting, the record collapses to 12 wins, 1 draw, and 6 losses. In fact, every single one of Barcelona's 6 defeats this season has happened when Raphinha did not start. A 4-0 humiliation against Atletico Madrid. Raphinha was injured. A 2-1 loss to PSG in the Champions League. Raphinha was out. Defeats to Real Madrid, Real Sociedad, and Sevilla. Injured, injured, injured. The data confirms the eye test. When he plays, Barca scores 2.82 goals per game. Without him, that drops to 2.33. But the real collapse is in defence. Without Raphinha pressing from the front, Barcelona's defence is exposed. Opponents' shots on target skyrocket, and Barca concedes 1.8 goals per game without him, compared to a microscopic 0.77 goals when he is on the pitch. He isn't just their best attacker, the stats prove he is secretly their most important defender. As the Catalan papers wrote just days ago, no Raphinha, no party. This evolution at Barcelona has created a fascinating paradox within the Brazilian national team. For years, the Seleção has been built around the flair of Neymar, and, more recently, the pure one versus one electricity of Vinicius Jr. But as Brazil navigated the grueling CONMEBOL World Cup qualifiers for 2026, a harsh truth emerged. Flair doesn't always win dogfights in South America. Under Dorival Jr., Brazil needed an engine. They needed a player who could connect the midfield to the attack, press relentlessly in the brutal altitude of Bolivia, and deliver lethal set pieces. Enter the flickified Raphinha. While Vinicius Jr. is the flash on the left wing, Raphinha has become the undisputed tactical brain of the national team. During periods when Neymar was injured or unavailable, it was Raphinha who often shouldered the creative burden, even wearing the iconic number 10 shirt. He translated his inside left role from Barcelona into a central playmaker role for Brazil. Pundits in Brazil who used to beg for more yoga bonito are now universally praising his European efficiency. He is the glue holding a heavily scrutinised Brazil squad together as they prepare for the 2026 World Cup in North America. But the final layer of this evolution isn't tactical or statistical, it is psychological. As we sit here in 2026, Raphinha isn't just a star player, he is the spiritual leader of FC Barcelona. When Marc-André ter Stegen and Ronald Araujo were injured or phased out, the captain's armband naturally gravitated toward the Brazilian, and he wears it like a suit of armour. In a team filled with teenagers, Lamine Yamal, Pau Cubarsí, Marc Bernal, Xavi, Raphinha acts as the ultimate shield. He is the enforcer. If an opponent kicks Yamal, Raphinha is the first one in their face. If the team goes down a goal away from home, Raphinha is the one sprinting back 50 yards to make a tackle to wake the crowd up. He has created a perfect symbiosis with the rest of the attack. Because Lamine Yamal requires so much attention on the right wing, often drawing 2 or 3 defenders, the left half space is left underprotected. Raphinha exploits this blind spot ruthlessly. And because Robert Lewandowski no longer has the legs to press for 90 minutes, Raphinha does the running for him. He presses for the veteran and he protects the teenager. He is the glue holding the entire £1 billion operation together. He has become the ultimate team player who just so happens to have world-class individual output. This is not the same Raphinha who arrived from Leeds United. That player was trying to figure out how to survive at Barcelona. This player is the reason Barcelona is surviving everyone else. He took the disrespect, the transfer rumours, and the tactical isolation, and he forged it into a Ballon d'Or level campaign. He embodies the exact philosophy of Hansi Flick's era. Cruyffian technical brilliance, executed with ruthless German physical steel. They tried to sell him for €50 million. Today, he is priceless. But now we turn the question to you. Is Raphinha the greatest redemption story in modern Barcelona history? And does his impact under Hansi Flick make him more important to this specific system than even Lamine Yamal? Drop your verdict in the comments. We read every single one. If you want the tactical truth, the raw data, and the stories the mainstream media is too afraid to tell, then you belong here. Guard the legacy. Defend the game. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You don't want to be left in the dark when the next giant falls. This is 11 Guards. The watch never ends.